Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we take a look at the judging for In Bloom in Immingham. And we head to St John Newland in Hull, where Associate Minister Lee McMunn delivers our weekly reflections. And my guest tonight is Julia Wilson from St Mary's Church in Barton-on-Humber, who's here to talk about the Teddy Bear Challenge. Welcome to Estuary News. I'm Emma Lingard. Now it's over to Erica Barker for the news headlines.
North East Lincolnshire Clinical Commissioning Group is encouraging people with concerns about residential care in the area to report it to them. It comes after Hadley House, a privately run care home in Immingham, was closed by the Care Quality Commission, with 23 former residents all rehomed at the end of last week.
Gone are the days where the local council would run every single care home in an area. We now have, I think, 38 care homes that operate in North East Lincolnshire looking after older people. Some of those are single-handers, as we call it, so one person in charge of the home. So we have a very fragmented care system. So it's important that there is an organisation that's got that helicopter view over all the homes, if you like, and that's us here in the CQC. So people should feel confident and encouraged to actually pass through their comments and concerns. And that could be compliments as well for areas of good practice. You know, we want to highlight those as well as trying to weed out, the bad practice.
BHS in Grimsby's Freshney Place will not be closing. It comes amid rumours that it would be shutting up shop. In a statement sent to Estuary, we can confirm that it is to remain open. Plans to restore the heritage of Hull's Beverley Road take a step forwards. Our City Council has been awarded a grant of almost £1.6 million from the Heritage Lottery Fund for a major regeneration grants scheme. Combined with £100,000 from the council and the private sector, it'll provide grants to property owners for urgent conservation repairs, including historic shop front restorations. And Humberside Police say spates of warm weather historically result in an increase in the number of so-called sneak-in burglaries. In June, the force had reports of 50 properties being burgled in East Yorkshire and Northern Lincolnshire, with homes not being secure. They say it can often be an opportunist crime and are urging people to ensure doors and windows are closed when in the garden. If you have any stories, you can contact us on 01472 315561 or on our Facebook or Twitter pages at Estuary TV. And I'll be back soon with all the sports news.
Across the country, towns and villages are preparing for In Bloom judges to descend in their droves, and it's a hot contest as they compete for Britain in Bloom and East Midlands in Bloom titles. I went to Immingham to watch some of the build-up. The sun is shining and the flowers are blooming just in time as judging prepares to take place across the area for In Bloom 2015. In Immingham, 3 times gold winner, they were having their community judging, undertaken by a neighbouring In Bloom committee.
Working towards the East Midlands in Bloom judging, which is in a fortnight's time, but we also hold a local competition, and that's to try and get the community and the residents involved in what we're doing throughout the town. And so today we've got independent judges in the town today, and we've got something in the region of 19 to 20 applicants to put in for the competition itself.
For the last 6 years, Coombriggs Primary School has taken part. Each year they do something different, and it adds to the children's education.
Well, children use the gardens on a daily basis. Outside education, environmental education has always been important, but we also have lunchtime gardening clubs, after-school gardening clubs, and on a Friday afternoon it is part of the curriculum.
And while it's all blooming marvellous, there's no certainty of who will win the gardening crown.
You're always aiming for that gold award again, and we've been fortunate with the projects that we've done and the themes that we've taken on each year. We've changed things around each year to try and give the judges a different sort of theme for them to see when they come here. So 3 golds on the trot, and we're hoping for a 4th this year. And some of the things that we've planned this year, I'm sure, are going to impress the judges again.
You're watching Estuary News. A little later, we'll be seeing the Associate Minister, Lee McMunn, from St John Newland in Hull for reflections. And Erica Barker will bring you the local sports news and results. St Mary's Church in Barton upon Humber is looking to break some world records this year by taking part in the Teddy Bear Challenge. They hope people will knit enough teddies to stretch the entire length of the church. The current world record is over 15,000. Well, joining me is Julia Wilson, the Operation Christmas Child Coordinator for the church. Welcome to the show, and we've got a fabulous array of the teddies actually here. Why have you decided to take part in this challenge?
It's just really to sort of bring everybody together and to raise awareness of the brilliant Operation Christmas Child campaign, and to get the community involved.
Now, you say we've got some teddies here, and all of these, I mean, it's so fabulous, aren't they? Little teddy puppets that we've got. It's so sweet, aren't they? I mean, the teddies, they're this particular shape and size, aren't they, for a reason? Just tell us about them.
Well, they fit perfectly into the shoe boxes. They're not taking up much space at all. And they're a great way of using up just odds and ends of wool. They don't use much up at all, so it's the perfect way of using your old bits and bobs.
They are, right? I mean, how long does one of these take somebody to knit then?
Oh, less than an hour.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
They are fabulous little things, aren't they? And what's the feedback been when these have gone out?
They're loved by everybody.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And they're great for breaking down communication barriers, as well as being a toy for the children to love and play with.
They are. They're absolutely fabulous. Now, obviously, you're taking part in this challenge. I mean, are you hoping to break the world record?
Well, that would be a bonus.
That's a lot of teddy bears. How many have you had so far?
We've not actually counted.
Okay, but plenty
Yes,
at the minute. But you would ideally like, if you can, to break the world record.
Oh, it would be brilliant, and it would
them.
draw more attention to the overall campaign. So, yeah, it would be fantastic if we could.
Okay, so the knitting of these themselves, I mean, if people are out there and they think, oh yeah, we'd like to knit a teddy, I mean, is there a pattern that they follow at all?
Yes, we've got our Facebook page, which is OCC Barton on Humber.
Okay.
Or they could email me on occbarton@btinternet.com, and I can send them it, or give us a call and we can post one out. If got willing knitters, we'll find a way to get them a pattern.
I was going to say, I think when you set challenges like this, you should, well, hopefully find that you're going to be flooded with these teddy
I hope so.
So pretty much, once all these teddy bears have been knitted, what's going to happen to them before they go off?
Well, we're having, at St Mary's Church on the 20th of September, we're having a special Teddy Bears picnic service. And at that service, we'd like to display all the teddy bears around the church. And then once we've done that, they'll all be counted, and then they'll be packed away into the shoe boxes, ready to be sent abroad for this year's appeal. And
I suppose that is when you'll know whether you've achieved any world records.
On the 20th of September, we're going to have a big counter. So.
Have you realised that is your church big enough, should I say, to fit all these teddy bears?
Oh, I'm sure they could burst out into the town if necessary.
They are so colourful, aren't they? They, like you say, they'll bring delight to lots of people, won't they? Well, we're going to hold it then. We're going to come back to you after and talk more about the Operation Shoebox, and obviously talk more about these teddies. Right, now it's time for our weekly reflections, and this week it's the turn of Lee McMunn, Associate Minister for St John Newland in Hull.
One of the radical claims that Christians make about Jesus is that the same Jesus who was killed on a cross, we claim that 3 days later he was physically raised from the dead. Now, let me just say, as a Christian, one of the reasons why that is such good news, why Jesus being alive is such terrific and fantastic news. Suppose you went shopping, suppose you got something you really wanted, and you were heading off out of the store with it in your bag, and then the hand came on your shoulder, it was a security guard, and he says, look, I'm going to accuse you of theft, you haven't paid for that. Well, what would you need at that moment? If you were accused of theft, you would need a receipt. What is a receipt? A receipt is proof that you have paid for what's in your bag. Now, as a Christian, I believe that Jesus Christ paid for my sins. But how do I know that? Well, for me as a Christian, the resurrection is like a big, massive receipt in history, which says to me that the price has been paid for my sins, that by rising from the dead, as a Christian, I believe that Jesus has paid for it all, and therefore that gives me great confidence.
Well, still with me in the studio is Julie Wilson, talking about this teddy bear challenge at St Mary's Church in Barton. Now, we were obviously talking about knitters and wanting people to help with the challenge, but obviously it is all part of the Operation Christmas Child, which is obviously an initiative that I think most people will know about or participated in. How many boxes do you actually collect each year in Barton? Do you have a rough idea of how many you send?
No.
Never counted them all.
We sent about 250 from St Mary's Church last year.
Wow.
But there's obviously schools and other churches in the town, so I'm not entirely sure. But there were 20,000 that were sent from the Ice House in Grimsby last year, which is the local processing centre.
Because it is a big initiative. I mean, like you say, most school children every year they come looking for shoe boxes, don't they, and items to put in it. You know, do you find it easy for people to do that still and bring along those boxes?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a brilliant appeal, and there's lots of ways people can contribute, even if they can't knit or if they can't fill a full shoe box. We invite people to bring individual items in that we can put in the boxes. They can make financial donation towards the postage of someone else's box. There's lots of different things you can make if you can't knit.
You see that, I mean, I was looking on your Facebook page earlier and you put a lot of requests out for items. I mean, what's some of the things that you're looking for that will go in a shoebox?
We're always looking for like the basic hygiene items, which are your toothbrush, toothpaste, soap and flannels, combs. Stationery is always important because in a lot of places the children can't go to school unless they've got paper and pencils and things, so that's always important. A cuddly toy, you know, whatever age group it is, they always love a cuddly toy. Small toys then, and you know, bits and bobs. There's hat, scarf and gloves are always essential. There's lots and lots of possibilities for the boxes.
People can help. Now, alongside obviously knitting teddy bears, I presume you also knit the hats then and scarves.
Absolutely, yes, yeah, we do. Our knitters are always really busy. They make bags as well. Non-stop knitting. I
mean, how often because you obviously have a group that meet, don't you, regular? So how often do you meet?
Our shoebox group meets every the first Tuesday of every month in St Mary's Church Hall, 1:30 till 3:00. If anybody wants to come along, always welcome.
And is it just knitting, or do you do other things?
No, we do all sorts. We make notebooks. We've got people that make necklaces and jewellery, marble pouches, absolutely everything.
And I think that is just that little bit special touch as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The fact that you've spent that time
the love and care that's gone into all the handmade things, absolutely.
And how many people are in the group?
We've got about a dozen regulars and then, you know, a few people that sort of visit and things. But there's a lot of people that don't make the group but help all year round, you know, making things and donating things. So it's definitely a community.
Which is good, because I mean, one of the questions I was going to ask you is Operation Christmas Child isn't just happening the Christmas period. You pretty much do this all year round, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you start before the boxes have gone out thinking about next year?
No, we tend to just have a mad panic to get the boxes ready, and then we have about a week off, and then we start all over again. But it's an addiction, you see. You know, people really get addicted to doing it. So.
And how long have you been coordinating then at the church?
This will be my 3rd year. There was a lady, Rosemary, that did it for many, many years, but she got really ill, and I was asked to take over, and so we've been doing it since, and hopefully Rosemary will be very pleased with our efforts.
I was going to say, I mean, you obviously clearly enjoy what you're doing, don't you?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
It's a brilliant thing to do. So anybody out there, you know, you've already said they can come along to your group and join in, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or they can drop things off to the church?
Yes, yeah. Donations always welcome.
Yeah, and the actual, we've said that the teddy bears need to be to you by September the 20th?
That's right, yeah, for our teddy bears picnic service.
So September the 20th is the deadline, and then on that day, are you having the picnic?
We are, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
and that's also happening at the church as
Yeah,
well, isn't it?
9:30 a.m.
Okay, well, I think these are wonderful. I particularly like this one. This is a sweet little bear, isn't it? And you say, how many? This is one lady in your group that knocks these out every evening.
Yes, she does about 10 every evening.
It's great. Wish I could knit. That's the thing. I don't have. Well, I might have the talent to knit. I've never tried. I don't know whether my teddy bears would.
We could always leave you a pattern.
I don't know whether my teddy bears would love this, but they look absolutely wonderful. So, thank you for coming in to talk to us. So, if anybody out there can obviously help, teddy bear patterns, you can find them on their Facebook page, and they're needed by September the 20th. And we will come and visit you, I'm sure, to find out how the appeal's going. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Oh, it's going to stop. Right, joining me now to look back over the weekend news is Richard Morris. Hello, Richard.
My dad's a fantastic knitter, you know. He should get involved. I'm going to get, because he made me phone socks when I was in secondary school, you know, to keep my phone warm in winter.
Can he make me a microphone pack?
He might be able to. He's very talented. He's very good at it. Like, I'll speak to him. I'll see what he says.
Please, because that lady did say they've got no men in their knitting group.
Well, we'll get my dad to
nominate.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's sorted.
Hull City Council leaders. I'm going to tell you what's been happening.
Hull
City Council leaders have agreed to spend £62,500 on investigating the potential purchase of a major collection of maritime art.
£62,000 to investigate whether the city needs a collection of art. That seems a lot of money.
The funding is expected to cover the cost of hiring specialist consultants to provide advice on valuation, the condition of the collection, and issues around how it might be curated. Now, what they're looking at is it's 1,400 paintings of British steamships, and it's regarded as being of international importance. Now, it's been in private ownership for quite a while, this collection, and what they want, essentially, you know, City of Culture 2017, they'd like to bring it back to the Ferrens and that kind of thing. Right. Councillor Stephen Brady, has said that our work on Illustrious has created a number of other opportunities that could deliver a huge boost to our visitor economy, and the potential to establish a northern branch of the National Museum of the Royal Navy and to open a new gallery for a unique national collection of maritime paintings. So they're all for it. They're all for it.
But are the people of Hull for it?
Well, we don't know. We haven't done polling, have we?
No. That's one to watch then, isn't it? Okay.
It is.
What else?
This is also reported in the Hull Daily Mail. This is looking at the impact of local authority boundaries. Now, of course, you remember around the general election period, there was the big sort of, not exactly hoo-ha, but there was a big debate as to what would happen regarding the East Riding of Yorkshire and whether or not it should be amalgamated a little bit more into Hull City Council. Essentially, they're going to have a public hearing at the University of Hull's Business School on Thursday, July the 16th.
Okay, so that's next
week. The saga continues, really.
One will be keeping an eye on that one.
It was a very, very big referendum. Yes, it was a very big referendum. Hull City Council people are quite keen for it to go ahead. The East Riding of Yorkshire Council aren't really so keen. So, you know.
One to watch there, isn't
one to watch,
yeah,
one to
definitely.
watch. And as well, campaigners are drawing up new battle lines after their victory over St Modwen, which has lost its appeal to build hundreds of homes on Melton Fields next to the village in East Riding Council. This is
the South Ferriby.
Yes.
North Ferriby, not South Ferriby, wrong side of the river. North Ferriby development. Because this has gone to a public inquiry, hasn't it? I mean, we've had one here in Grimsby.
It's very difficult, isn't it? Because all of the councils need to build more homes. But the problem is no one wants homes building near them, understandably, you know, because there's lots of green areas in this county, in this particular region. So understandably, people are a little bit wary about it. But you know, it's become a quite, because of course we had this in North East Lincolnshire Council as well, as you were saying.
Yes, okay. Moving on quickly.
David and Diane. Well, David Tovey is celebrating his 70th birthday. Of course, we know David Tovey quite well. As the raising funds for the RNLI.
Yeah.
He's raised over 7 years. He's raised £7,000, which is
a lot of money.
For the RNLI.
Just David and Diane baking cakes as well.
Exactly.
Which sadly they don't do anymore, do they?
Well, he's not very well. He has chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And they originally said to him he had 2 months to live, but you know, this was back in November. But apparently, you know, they were saying that they share this celebration every day, you know, obviously, that he's still alive and is okay.
They do a remarkable job down there, I have to say. And I think people will probably miss their cakes.
Well, they've said that they're missing the people visiting them and getting a cup of tea and buying cakes and that kind of thing.
Sadly, you have to take your own cakes down the fitties.
Yes, sadly.
Well, thank you ever so much, Richard. That's all we've got time for. Now, here's the sport with Erica Barker.
Derby County are set to send their first team squad for Saturday's friendly game against Grimsby Town at Blundell Park. The likes of Darren Bent, Scott Carson and Alex Pearce, who have all signed for the Rams this summer, will almost certainly be involved. Tigers' pre-season programme gets underway in Portugal this week. 20 players boarded a flight yesterday. It's thought an intense pre-season programme lies in wait for the Tigers as the 2 weeks warm weather training gets underway. Cleethorpes Town have been handed a home draw against Lincolnshire NCEL rivals Brigg Town in their extra preliminary round of the season's FA Cup. The Owls will face Zebras at Bradley provisionally on Saturday the 15th of August. The winners of the tie will travel to either Clipstone or St Andrews in the next round. Tickets for the Ladbrokes Challenge Cup semi-final against Warrington Wolves are now available to 2015 members at the Rovers retail store. Hull KR will face the Wolves at Headingley Carnegie Stadium on Saturday, 1st of August, and tickets went on sale to members online on Friday. And England's blind cricket team are to visit Lincolnshire for the first time to face a team from Grimsby in an exhibition match. They will take on a side put together by St James's School headmaster Dr John Price in the T20 style cricket match at Cleethorpes Cricket Club, and it'll take place on the 19th of July. And that's all from the sports.
That's all we've got time for tonight. Thank you to my guest Julia Wilson, and if you can help with that teddy bear challenge, then get in touch with St Mary's via their Facebook page and help them knit for the 20th of September. If you've a news story, visit our Facebook or Twitter pages or email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 01472 315 553. Until tomorrow, good night.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Wednesday is going to remain breezy with some outbreaks of rain, feeling cooler with highs of 19 degrees, largely dry with sunny spells and light winds on Thursday.